with Tom Snyder.
Good evening, everybody. On this, the beginning of Christmas week, 1979. A bleak Christmas for the 50 Americans in our embassy in Tehran. Here at home, clenched teeth when people think of Iran, increasing frustration, the feeling that nothing dramatic, nothing tangible is being done to get our people home. The politicians trying to run against Jimmy Carter are even more frustrated. As we enter the election season of 1980, they're frustrated by their own self-imposed gag rule. Except for a brief outburst by Teddy Kennedy, which seemed to hurt him badly in the political polls, the candidates have refrained from criticizing the president while the crisis continues. Question, is that good or bad for the country? We'll cover that issue tonight, and we have other stories too. Here are some samples. Hollywood wrestling is alive and well all over the country, but it is living especially well in the South. And where you will find Mary Spry, front row, red blouse, silver whistle, every Monday night.
I love my wrestling more than anything. In fact, I'd rather go further than any place I've ever been in my life.
As recently as 1945, there were about 86,000 one-room schools across the United States. But since then, the rush to the cities and the consolidation of country school districts have wiped out most of them. Of the 1,000 or so that survive, nearly half are in one state, Nebraska. This is the District 9 school near West Point, Nebraska. One teacher with 12 students in 6 grades.
If I wouldn't have got that from Mom, then I would have had brown. Oh, I see.
Here is the Gee Whiz Christmas gift of the year. A satellite dish for your own backyard. Expensive, but thousands of people have them. Use them to watch pay TV without paying.
So you need and in?
To watch things that were never meant to be on the air at all. Some of this watching is illegal, but the odds are they'll never catch you.
All that and more for Primetime Sunday on December the 23rd of 1979.
I'm a mileage nut. I checked all the figures, and I got a Ford Fairmont. Yeah, 4-cylinder mileage is even higher than last year's. And do they have a 6-cylinder with standard 4-speed transmission, no...
In professional wrestling, there are good guys and bad guys, clean fighters and dirty fighters. The rule book gets thrown out the window most of the time, but when good confronts evil, things usually turn out the way they're supposed to. That's not real life, of course. That's pro wrestling, or Hollywood wrestling, as it was called back in the 50s, when guys like Gorgeous George got people hooked. And Americans have been watching ever since. 25 million paying customers a year, watching faithfully, but not watching too carefully. It's Sunday afternoon at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. And 10,000 people have come to see a show they've seen before. An old battle between good and evil. Hollywood wrestling is alive and well all over the country, but it is living especially well in the South. The wrestling company working Lexington on this day finds business is good at every stop on the weekly circuit. This is Memphis, where Monday Night Wrestling is an institution. And where you will find Mary Spry, front row, red blouse, silver whistle, every Monday night.
Let's get some.
I don't take candy off shelf you ain't gonna buy. I work every night, 3 to 11. Monday night is the only night I have off. They don't ask me to work on Monday night because they know I won't do it. If it cost me my job, I wouldn't do it.
Oh, tell Ruby come by and see you.
I love my wrestling more than anything. In fact, I'd rather go up further than any place I've ever been in my life. I don't go out honky-tonkin', don't drink. Now, I shoot the pinball machine once in a while, but I'd give that up if I had to. They say I'm crazy to go up there and say it's silly because it's all fake and all this stuff. That's fine with me. But if I like wrestling, that's my hang-up.
Take Hector out first.
The one who decides who's next is a promoter named Jerry Jarrett. He controls 30 wrestlers and 8 towns. And he's convinced there's a demand for more.
The wrestling fans are the forgotten masses. You get into the breakdown and you find out that they're very much middle America. It's that segment that doesn't go to the Saturday football game. And most of our fans are at home, and they follow us on the television.
Yeah, we got everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside, all ready to go with another big week, Championship Wrestling. And by golly, we've got ourselves a Championship Wrestling.
And all you have to do is check your rating books and see a 70 share of the audience in Memphis watching wrestling on Saturday morning, and you see where they are.
Oh, yeah.
Now step on him, Steve. Stomp him. Pop him now. Pop him. Pop him again.
To a world title shot.
The Saturday night stop on the tour is the American Legion Hall in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And 52 weeks a year, the man they love to hate is Jerry the King Lawler.
Shut up, you redneck. Hillbilly. Sit down out there.
I guess the worst thing that I've heard, there was a wrestler in Florida that after the matches, the fans ran over him in the car, and I guess we shouldn't be laughing because it killed him, you know. And so that's the only time I've ever really heard of anything really bad.
Jerry Lawler is a star, but it's taken him 8 years of one-night stands.
A lot of people would consider it pretty hectic. I wrestle fairly often, usually about 4 to 5 times a week. But this is because I want to, you know, I enjoy it. There have been guys that want to wrestle once a week. I myself, you know, I feel like I don't want to wrestle forever. And so I'm trying to do what I can now so that I won't have to wrestle for a long time. That's the only thing that I really dislike about this profession, is that it is so demanding time-wise. You usually, after the matches at night, there's a pretty good trip back home.
Number 2, 1,000 pesos. No more bed. Number 2.
I have several wrestlers that earn in excess of $100,000 a year, and I have a whole lot that earn $20,000 a year. It depends on the box office. How many tickets the wrestler sells. And if he's a winner and he sells a lot of tickets, he makes a lot of money. And if I get enough of the wrestlers that are winners and sell a lot of tickets, then I'll make a lot of money.
With cameras in the air, body slams in.
One, give me the bad guys in the corner also. The action and the bad guys.
On Saturday mornings in Memphis, the studios of WMC-TV become a wrestling arena. The good guys dress in the news set. The bad guys dress in the men's room. The promoter does not allow good guys and bad guys to be seen together outside the ring ever.
0-2, 2. 0-1, 1.
The 90 minutes of live wrestling is taped and used on stations in the other 7 towns on the circuit. The television show doesn't make money for the wrestlers. Money is made at the box office. But it's television that gets the fans to go to the matches.
It's going to be a great night down there Monday night. It's going to be lovely. I can hardly wait for it. Do you realize that? Let me say something to you, Bill Dundee, you little runt. You little half-pint shrimp. You think you're going to stand behind Jimmy Valiant, let him fight your battles for you, and then you won't have to face me. Is that what you think? Well, let me tell you something. You got another thing coming, because I'm going to go through Handsome Jimmy just like X-Lax through a widow woman. I'm going to get to you, Dundee, one way or the other, because I'm going to beat you, punk.
Don't come to fight, Lawler. You better come to be in a war, brother, because the fighting's over. It's going to be a war. Jerry Lawler, you belong to me. Thank you, lady.
Okay, the superstar, Bill Dundee. Action coming up Monday.
Much of the action may make you wonder whether wrestling has any rules at all. There are 2 important ones. Make the punches look as good as you can, and try not to injure your opponent, because he has to wrestle the next night.
The more violent the match is, and if you get busted in the eye, or I don't know, they just seem to enjoy it more if it's more violent. They won't come to see a wrestling match just where 2 guys go out and wrestle and stay by the rules. So I think the violence has a lot to do with it, but the whole world's changing, I think.
It's what the people want. It's just something that's inside everybody. They like violence. They like to see it.
The more violent they get, the better I like it.
I don't like to see them wrestle. I like to see them fight. I just like the hitting in the blood.
Bloody cuts on the forehead are a tradition in wrestling. The small scars can be covered by combing the hair forward. But often, as on this night in Memphis, real blood is not enough. So hidden capsules of red paint are used, and somehow the fake blood makes it real.
I like the rough, tough stuff. If I don't see no blood, it's not thrill.
Someone says it's ketchup when they put on the face, but it's not. That's blood.
There's a vast segment of our society that recognize and appreciate wrestling and all that it does for them. I think that's the reason it's lasted and endured. It's endured the wrath of the media. It's endured everything. And it's alive and well, and you can see by fans and turnout.
Quit. How we living? Let's go home, Thomas.
That fake stuff, man. Good show, though, ain't it? Good show, ain't it? Fake, though. Tell you what, that's a good show, bro. Oh, get up on there, then. That's fake. Yeah, stuff's fake. Good show, though, ain't it?
Years ago, I worked at a television station that carried a live wrestling show, and I once asked one of the wrestlers, what hurts the most in the ring? And he said, when the fans out there start throwing used flashlight batteries at us. Primetime Sunday continues from New York right after these words from our sponsors.